One of the best parts about landscape architecture and what I do is creating space and creating that feeling that when you walk into a garden or you walk into your backyard or a commercial property, you get a sense and you have a feeling when you're in that atmosphere. So I want to create that same sense and that escape for you. My name is Emily Osborne. I am a landscape designer with my company, Lilac Garden Designs.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you got into this industry?
Sure. So I got into this industry from school. So I went to the University of Idaho. I have a degree in landscape architecture, and it was a goal of mine to learn more about the industry and how things get put together, more than just what we were taught in school. So I ventured into the design build and worked for a landscape construction company back in Oregon, and then got the opportunity to work for a landscape architecture firm here in Billings, which opened up some doors for me, and I was excited to do so. But then found I really missed my clients and missed being with people and talking and hearing their landscape stories. So I decided to open my own company, Lilac Garden Designs, in June of 2020. One of my favorite trends right now is more of that mid-century modern, because I like the clean lines. I like the use of steel edging versus curbing. That to me is it's a clean form of landscape. But also tying that in with water conservation, because it's been a very hot topic here in Billings. So blending plants that can use less water and grass alternatives that use less water, but also kind of getting that kind of modern design feel. That's probably my favorite.
In the current climate, are you finding that you and your clients are wanting to pivot towards more drought-tolerant options?
I am finding that people want to use more drought-tolerant options. There is definitely a need, I think, for it. We had that kind of water scare for a day, and that kind of really highlighted the fact that our water use is low here. So, and also we're in a high desert, so we should be looking at more water conservation efforts, not just using the rivers as a amenity that then can't be always utilized. So I think thinking towards the future and thinking about that would be great. Water conservation in itself is broad. Mm-hmm. There's many different ways and facets to do that. So whether that's through just using drip irrigation with drought-tolerant fescues, grasses, there could also be a clover, there could be a fleur-de-lawn, there could be all kinds of things. Creeping thyme can be substituted for a turf. So there's lots of different ways, and I like to chat about those options with my clients when we are sitting down at our design consultation.
Tell me a little bit about your process and the range of services that you offer from start to finish on a project.
My process begins with a consultation where we meet on site to talk about your project needs, your goals, your wishes for your landscape. It's usually a conversation that we have on the phone prior to that on-site meeting, just so we can kind of get a little bit of sense of what you're looking for, front yard, backyard, full yard, acreage, whatever it is. And then from there I say, okay, please tell me what your goals are. What do you want to see in your landscape? What do you like? What are your dislikes? So that when we actually meet, you kind of have that prepared little package of all the things that you like. When we meet, we go through all the questions I typically ask: maintenance, looking at what kind of elements they want to see, whether that's outdoor kitchens, fire pits, patios, gathering spaces, lawn, pools, all the plethora of landscape elements out there. And then I'm writing everything down, taking notes. I even ask, what kind of plants do you like? What are your favorites? What are your dislikes? From there, I take all that information back, take all measurements of the yard that I need to. If they're able to provide a site plan, that's even better, but that's okay if you don't have one, I can take measurements. And from there, I go back to my office and I begin the design process, which begins with a few different concepts, or if I have something already kind of in mind, I run with that idea, put it onto paper, and dress it up, to its full extent. That provides you with usually 4 sheets and a site plan with an overview of all the different elements we've talked about, a hardscape plan that you give to the contractors that lines out all the different materials that they need, measurements, all that critical information to get you the right quote, a planting plan and planting pictures so that you have a good sense and idea of what your plan will look like when it's complete. I am here to help and be a resource to my clients through every step of the process.